Hello friends, my name is Friar Jon, and I would like to invite you to a behind-the-scenes look into the development of the Friar's Boon. For those of you not aware, the Friar's Boon will be an in-game tavern located within the world of Camelot Unchained. Camelot Unchained is one of the first true massively multiplayer online games to fund its development on the crowdfunding site Kickstarter, and is due for release sometime in 2015. There are many unique features to Camelot Unchained that will make it a remarkable game. From its niche focus on player versus player combat, to the open world where players create their own structures. There's also an amazing graphics engine that will support massive battles, if that so happens to be your cup of tea. And there are many more crazy ideas that are filtering their way into the development of the game. But I'm not going to talk about any of those, as there are dozens of sites around the internet that do a much better job explaining those cool things than I ever would. What I'd like to talk about is content creation, perhaps the most important feature to any game that calls itself a massively multiplayer online game, and one that has been strangely lost from the genre. Now, that's not to say that developers aren't creating content. Unfortunately, the type of content has shifted dramatically from what online gaming used to be. So what's the difference today? The focus of content has been placed solely on its consumption. Games like Lord of the Rings Online, Star Wars The Old Republic, and Guild Wars 2 push out content with varying degrees of quality in a manner where players can wander through the content and achieve success. Unfortunately, developer-created content is a finite resource, and players have the habit of consuming it faster than it can be created by even the largest and most experienced game developers. So the content gets old and stale on the third or fourth trip through. Then the players get bored, and then the players hop on to other games. So what's the solution? Some would say create content faster, and look at Guild Wars 2 as an example. It has a development schedule that guarantees a new event and new content every few weeks, as opposed to once or twice a year. Yet Guild Wars 2 suffered the same peak and crash as other recent MMOs. Just because a developer spends more time, effort, and attention into creating content for a game doesn't mean that it will be successful. So what's the answer? Instead of focusing on developer-created content, savvy game publishers are starting to shift the burden on individuals who actually play and consume the content within a game. EverQuest Next and the landmark feature of EverQuest is a great example, allowing players to create a whole host of content in a massive outsourced development scheme. But this too will not guarantee success, as EverQuest Next will face the same struggle as other online games, as players consume quality content faster than it is created, or get put off by subpar content created by amateurs. But I need to be very clear here. The games I mentioned, such as Lord of the Rings Online, Star Wars The Old Republic, Guild Wars 2, and EverQuest Next, are not inherently failures. In fact, they have each proven to be quite profitable in their own right. I'm not overly concerned with the mechanics and details of each game, as they are each unique and enjoyable. As long as there is some developer input, those games will thrive. But there is one type of content missing from these games that has the potential to make Camelot Unchained a truly remarkable game. And what is that content? The players. If there is one type of resource in a game that should never be extinguished, it is the players. The people that make up the game make the best stories. The truly memorable moments in any massively multiplayer online game are experienced with other people. Unfortunately, game developers have shifted so far into the let's create loads of content that they have neglected the bring people together. This is where Camelot Unchained can be different. People can be brought together around the players they experience the game with, There will be an element of realm pride. You'll be proud to be a part of the world, and proud to be a part of a group of people within that world. There will be a heavy focus on interacting with others, more so than interacting with individual quests and stories. If the current actions of the development team at City State Entertainment, the developers of Camelot Unchained, are any indication, the future is bright. Everyone at CSE has been focused on interacting with the community in tandem with their day-to-day work, from the owner of the development studio to the community managers located in other parts of the world. Camelot Unchained will be about bringing people together. And what better place to bring people together than a tavern? That is why I am so excited to be given the opportunity to serve as the innkeep for the Friar's Boon. As I've said, Camelot Unchained is set for release in 2015, and given that I'm filming this video at the beginning of 2014, there are a lot of exciting things that will take place between now and the official release. So the first exciting bit of information I would like to reveal today is the official artist rendition of what the Friar's Boon will look like when the game goes live. So here it is. You see that? All that fine detail and craftsmanship? All that loving attention that took years to flourish? That's right. There's nothing there. This empty space is how communities are built. A void exists so people can fill it, and the people that fill the void stick by their creations. Ultimately, starting from scratch and building something remarkable is one way to build something that lasts. But in order to build something that lasts, you have to understand that people are far more important than content. In fact, people are the best type of content.